Have you ever wondered what it means when a planet comes back to its natal location again? Each planet in our natal chart has a cycle, and it takes a certain amount of time for it to travel around your natal chart and return back to where it started. The one I'm going to be talking about today is the cycle of the sun, the solar return. The sun is the cycle of our identity, our selfhood, who we really are at our core. The sun takes approximately 1 year to go through the entire chart and return back to where it started. Now, when you have this happen, this is around your birthday. It's either the day of your birthday, the day before your birthday, or the day after your birthday, and this is your solar return. It is a time for celebration. It's a time when your individual light is being celebrated in this world. And not only that, but it's the start to a whole new year. And the solar return chart is critical. It tells you all the energy that your year is being seeded with. It's a pinpoint, it's a snapshot of that day when your sun returns to its natal point and all of that energy is lit up. And so everything that happens on that particular day when the sun returns to that degree of your natal chart, that's really important to tell you what the year ahead will look like. The sun in your chart is the cycle of identity and selfhood. It's the cycle of figuring out who you are and what is lighting you up from the inside. That's what our sun is always trying to tell us. The solar point is going to be exactly in the same spot, so that doesn't really give us too much more information than it would in a natal chart. But what I like to look at in a solar return chart is the ascendant point, because that's going to be different than your ascendant likely, and it'll be different probably every single year. So what I like to do is I look at the ascendant point and I use the Sabian symbols in order to go ahead and get more insight, more of a thematic picture or an image or a verse. It's symbolic, but it's also up to interpretation. So you can see things a lot of ways with the Sabian symbols. Here's a quick demonstration of how to find the solar return ascendant point. I'm going to use astro.com. It's super easy to get an account here. Go to My Astro. I'm going to scroll all the way down because we're going to be using Dua Lipa today. I'm going to click on Dua Lipa's name, go to extended chart selection. Now there are so many charts here that you can choose from, and it's kind of confusing. So you go down to until you find solar return plus, so it's natal plus solar return chart. That's the one we want. Here's Dua Lipa's chart. On the inside, this is her natal chart, and on the outside is her solar return chart. So when we look for her ascendant point, it's the AC here. So she has her ascendant this year for 2022 to 2023, and her solar return chart is in Gemini in the 9th house. It's an expansion of her awareness this year. It's the house of philosophy and education, travel, contemplation, purpose, search for meaning. So that's going to be really on the forefront, and it's in Gemini. So she's going to have that strong Gemini energy in her life. Now, I just saw an article where she is being linked to Trevor Noah, who's the host of The Daily Show, and he is very big with the Gemini energy as a host of a news show, very quick-witted, and there is some indication that he wants to travel more, do more stand-up comedy and around the world, learn more languages. So I'm wondering if maybe that could have a big part of her life this year. We also see Mars is in her 9th house and the moon. So there's a lot going on for her in the 9th house this year. So what I do is I look for that ascendant point. We know it's in Gemini. It's going to be in her 9th house. So that gives us the flavor of where it's going to be coming through in her life. And she's Gemini ascendant point, 24 degrees, 55 minutes. Next, I go to SabianSymbols.com. I really like this site. It's a good flash view of the Sabian symbol you want to look at. So you go to symbols. It's in alphabetical order. So you select the zodiac and choose Gemini 24. So what it's going to do is you're going to click that, and it's going to go round up to Gemini 25 for the Sabian symbols. The Sabian symbol for Dua Lipa for this upcoming year for her solar return is a gardener trimming large palm trees. This is clearing away the garbage. She just recently had a breakup, so clearing away anything of the past in order to give a clean, fresh image. I think Dua Lipa in this year will be showing a different side of herself, a search for meaning, superconscious, abstraction, philosophy, belief systems, communication, and communicating that. She'll be taking in a lot of information, a lot of travel, and expressing, like with the moon in there as well, it'll be a lot of movement, a lot of travel. This can bring admiration or sympathy, but in reality, it's best to cut out what's not needed or ineffective in your life as it leaves space for better. So trimming off non-essentials to get to the bare reality, caring for possessions, doing work because it needs to be done, throwing out the rubbish. I think she's going to be editing herself, changing, getting some new lease on life. If Dua Lipa was my client, I would look up an image that she can have to look at for her year as symbolic. So this would be a nice one. I see there's the beautiful palm tree. You can see it's being trimmed. And so taking out the dead weight, taking out the dead leaves so that it can show its beauty underneath, removing the dead and letting the new life come through her. A lot of times too, it's good to have that image printed out or that image on your mind during the year in case anything ever comes up and it's confusing or like wondering what's going on. It's sort of an oracle that tells you, well, here's that theme. Remember, here's the light side, here's the dark side of that. And it's sort of an overarching how your life's going kind of during the year, because the ascendant point is really the daily life point, like that, how you feel about your life, how others see you, how you see yourself. It's your journey. I hope this was helpful for you. If you want to find your ascendant point or if you need any help whatsoever, just let me know. I can help you in the comments, or you can come to me and I can give you a solar return reading. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you guys next time.